Hey everyone, experimenting with a different format here, keeping with the spirit of this channel, which is to just constantly try new things out and learn as much as possible by usually failing in doing those things. And so I had some thoughts about my playing improvisational music, and I thought, I should really record something so I can justify writing text about it underneath, but I'll just talk. Um, and I realized that thinking about the recent improvisational pieces I posted, that the reason I'm so unsatisfied with them is because they're not honest. So what I've been doing is a thing that I recommend you think about if you're an amateur, if you're learning, which is how to incorporate your mistakes into your playing. Um, and this is really important for any kind of music. Because we all make mistakes and the show must go on. And so, one of your great challenges as a musician is to figure out how do you keep going when things went badly, are going badly. You're on stage and you've forgotten the lyric. You just played the wrong note. You have realized you're not keeping you've fallen out of the tempo. You've let your bandmates down. The audience is perplexed. Um, and it's your worst nightmare. It's everything you feared going in. And there are two things you can do to deal with that. One is the most important thing is to stay calm. Um, it happens to everyone. Uh, and the thing with live music is there's a spirit of generosity to it that is shared by everyone in the room. And you're giving a gift of your music to the people who have come to see you. The people who have come to see you are giving you a gift of their time. And so you're each giving each other a gift, which is just a beautiful occasion. So let that give you strength and remind you of the kind of relationship of love that exists inherently in any situation of live music between the performer and the audience, a spirit of generosity. So let that be your strength. And if you fail, no one wants to see someone fail. You're in a room filled with other human beings who are on the same journey as you, feel the same pains, are imperfect like you. And the other thing, just stay calm. Stay calm. Enjoy. Remember why you're there, which is the joy of music. And even in the failure, in those horrible moments, you should be having fun because that's part of the thrill of it. To be on the edge of disaster. That's usually where my best moments come from in improvisation is when I'm on the edge of disaster. I've fallen out of the beat. I've just played a whole series of just dreadful phrases. The thing is just hitting a wall. Stay calm. Remember, it's not about you. It's about the music. You have to serve the music. And really what you're doing is it's not about your ego and whether you are going to get praise for having performed well. It's, did you give the gift of music to your listener? And did you put your heart and soul into it? Did you sincerely express your artistic vision, your spiritual state? You can be the worst musician in the world, but if you play with authenticity and sincerity, you will move people to tears, and not just because the playing's bad, but because the feeling is real. So stay calm. Be in the music. Submit to the music. Be a servant of the music, not of your own ego. Be humble. Be humble before the majesty of the music that you're playing, the compositions that are gifts of divine inspiration. And there's another practical thing you need to learn, which is how to. So okay, this is where I started. I guess, how to incorporate your mistakes. This is an important skill, again, beyond the kind of larger vision of the love of music and whether or not you buy that hippie nonsense that I've just been spouting for the last 4 minutes. But in a very practical sense, you will make mistakes when you play live, and how you handle them is part of your success. Um, so there are a number of ways to do it. One is just to be honest. Hey, I effed up. Sorry, guys, I'm human. Drop my drumsticks. Sorry, there's no snare drum for the last two bars, but somehow we soldiered on. Mea culpa. Um, we all make mistakes. But you can also learn techniques of incorporating those mistakes musically, and those are very important to learn because they're usually the source of inspiration. A mistake shows you a different way of doing something that you wouldn't have thought of before. And certain kinds of music, of course, improvisational music in general, kind of takes much of its energy and vitality from mistakes. There's the whole cliche about jazz, like that, there are no mistakes, wrong notes in jazz. It's a bit of a simplification, but the spirit is right. So, one thing I see myself doing it, I almost do it unconsciously, is I will mess up a rhythm, and the way you catch it is you repeat your mistake in the following phrase or following bar, whatever the structure of repetition is. When you do that, then you take control of it, you own it, and it becomes incorporated into the composition that you're writing in real time. And that's actually can be very powerful and very interesting, again, because it means that you're incorporating stuff you wouldn't have dreamed up yourself into your work in real time. But the problem is when you get good at that, sort of hiding your mistakes, and it becomes a habit, and then it creates problems because you've now enabled yourself. You become your own enabler, rather, and you don't learn how to move past those mistakes. And I can see in the last few recordings I've made of improvisational stuff that's exactly the trap I've fallen into. I have gotten good, at least in my own mind. I'm sure it's painfully obvious to everyone else, but gotten good at hiding my mistakes. And there's a bit of ego that comes in there. Ooh, look at me, I just saved myself from disaster. But it's not truthful, it's not authentic, and most importantly is it doesn't help you learn and move past your mistakes. So um, there's no bumper sticker phrase this can all be boiled down to. It's, I think, the thing to remember, well, if there is one, it's that it's complicated. Learning is enormously complicated because you're literally changing your mind. You are growing new neural pathways through practice, um, and you're changing as a person. And I think for me, that's why I love learning stuff, is because I change, I can watch myself change as I do it. So anyway, I'm sorry, this is getting really narcissistic. I wanted to just pass on a few reflections about the process of learning. So thank you for listening. Thank you for putting up with my ramblings. And I looked at the beard trimmer today, and contemplated opening the box. So I'm getting there. That's, for me, that's a big step. So anyway, I love you all.